Hello, Chesterton students. Miss Shannon coming to you from your gardens. I am here taking a look at your raised beds on this President's Day because, well, gardens don't get holidays. So let's take a look around and maybe you can tell me what might be happening in your raised beds. Let's find out. I see a lot of growth here, and I think a lot of it is arugula that just happened to be sprouting up. But over here, I'm seeing some soil turned up, and I think I know what the culprit might be. It has to do with what we talked about last week with those Japanese beetle grubs. Do you know what animal might be digging holes, looking for these grubs and devouring them? I'm going to talk about this animal, this fauna, in our gardens next week, but I'm going to see if you might be able to do some research on your own to find out what animal that lives in San Diego that is active at night that loves to dig for Japanese beetle grubs. This bed looks pretty good. Let's take a look at some of the other beds. We have a little bit of digging action here, not too bad, and I'm going to go ahead and smooth out all the spots so that when I come again in a week I can find out if we're still getting action from this particular fauna that I was referring to. But what I am excited about is we're seeing our first strawberry flower. So that means our strawberry transplants. We'll talk about transplanting and propagation in a couple weeks. That means they are going to hopefully produce fruit. So that will be exciting. Come June, we might have a whole strawberry patch here. A lot of stuff happening here. I can basically smell arugula in your gardens. We've got tons and tons of arugula, and I'm hoping the teachers will come in this week, if they're teaching from the school, and harvest some of the radishes growing. That's right, guys, Chesterton Gardens, we have beautiful red globe radishes. Wow, that's gorgeous. I'm gonna leave these here, and hopefully a teacher will see this and come in and grab some for their lunch. All right, what do you think? And we have bolted bok choy already. Man, that bok choy is confused. This one looks pretty good, but it needs to come out soon. We're also seeing some bug activity, so I'm going to be applying that Sluggo Plus here today, and that's because we are not pill bug farmers. We are vegetable farmers, and fruits too, because we're getting strawberries. There's another hole. Something is digging in these beds. What is it? So your potato bed is looking pretty good. I covered this one up. It was a little bit exposed, but everything else is looking okay for right now. We have a lot of weeds growing around the outside of this bed, and this is the bed I'd like to tackle today. This is the very last bed that we have to work on in your gardens, but still a lot of weeds around the bed. But these are not weeds, believe it or not. I was able to identify them because number one, I could smell them. And number two, these flowers, this is happening in the hawthorn gardens right now. The arugula is bolting and the flowers look just like this. So this is a type of arugula, and it's growing all over here, which is pretty amazing. This is that wasabi arugula, that spicy arugula that Chef Brendan was talking about. Yep. Pretty cool that we can identify things just based on the flowers and the shapes of the leaves. But everything else here, these are all weeds, these are all dandelions, so we need to make sure these come out before they create that puff of that like parachute looking seed dispersal mechanism, because once the wind takes that, they're going to blow all over the garden. So we do not want more dandelions here, because weeds compete for all the water and the nutrients that our plants need. Lots and lots of weeds. You can see they're getting plenty of water. So that means a lot of the water is coming out of that bed. And we're going to try to repair that by adding in some compost, which I brought in. We've got whole buckets full, new bags of soil. Compost, compost, compost. All right, let's see if we can get to work. Okay, I got to work on the bed, and I only finished about half of what I wanted to finish before the sun started to set. So I'm gonna get out of here, but I wanted to show you a couple things before I left that, in my opinion, are promising things to see in your gardens. Take a look. Hello, little ladybug. Crawling around on your irrigation lines. That's a good sign. What is not a good sign are pill bugs trying to get into your gardens. So we will apply some of the Sluggo Plus, but we will definitely celebrate our ladybug friend find here. He'll go find his way up to some bugs up in that direction. You can see I got about a third of the bed complete, but I did pull out a ton of weeds. And none of this will be going into green waste because our city landfill does not accept weeds in our green waste. So it actually has to go into the dumpster, which is a bit of a bummer. But until next time, we'll tackle the rest of the bed and all the weeds and grasses around it. Hopefully we'll see that little ladybug on the flip side. That's it for today, but I would like you to grab your science journals, open up to a blank page, and tell me about one thing that you saw from this video that you are most excited about happening in your Chesterton gardens. It could be a flora, it could be a fauna. Write about it. Can't wait to hear. See you next time.